come on this channel and I speak a lot about, being an exceptional man and checking every single C. And for those that don't know, that basically means that you're well-rounded as an individual, right? So the 7 C's that we speak about, first C that we speak about is cut, 8 to 10% body fat. The second C is charisma, right? You can control a room, right? The third C is clout, right? You're a man that other women want to be with and other men want to be like, right? The next C is character. You stand on morals and principles as a man, right? The next C is cash, a 1% income, which is about $48,000 a month. The next C is combat, right? You know how to fight and defend yourself as a man. And the last C is church, fellas, right? And to me, church is the most important C, and I'm going to tell you why. We're only on earth for X amount of time. Do you want to go to heaven? Do you want to go to hell, right? And not only that, but I think the Bible is one of the best books on business and obviously the best book on life, right? And, despite that, God has been a major foundation. When I'm going to speak about a lot of the trials and tribulations that you're going to see in the beginning of this video, if it wasn't for God, fellas, I don't know how I would have got out of them, right? But I'm a firm believer that there's a meter in heaven, fellas, and God is up there, and he's really looking at men that put him first, and he's looking at them like, once this man goes through X amount of pain and he keeps me first, I'm going to bless him with tremendous success. Right, and I'm a firm believer that the biggest breakthroughs come right after the most friction. And I'm a firm believer that you know your true character as a man when you're at rock bottom, fellas, right? And I've been at rock bottom 2 times, and those are the 2 times that I want to speak with you about in this introduction, right? The first time was about, I want to say 2019, right? I was a, unique individual, fellas, because I was actually that guy in high school. Like in high school, I was homecoming king. In high school, I was, jacked to a certain extent. Like I was skinny, but I had muscles, right? I played varsity as a freshman. My senior year, I led my team to states. Like I was that guy. But really in college and my early adulthood, I hit a major wall where I just let myself go with my finances. I let myself go mentally. I let myself go with my physique. And I got to a certain point in my life where I got in this hypnotic rhythm. For those that don't know what that is, it's when like the devil basically has a grip over you and you just go through life. Imagine you're going through life and you're in a paddle boat with no paddles, and whatever the water flows you, that's where it flows. That was my life, fellas. And I got to the point where, I had a lot of addictions. One of them was I was addicted to porn, fellas, right? I was beating my dick every single day because I was extremely stressed out from my life. I was trying to escape my reality, right? I would literally walk to the clothes basket and say this was the last time, but I would beat it again. And I found myself in this cycle. I was stressed, so I would beat my meat, and then I would beat my meat, so I was more stressed out. So I was in this cycle. And I knew it subconsciously, and it had a tremendous effect negatively on my dating life, fellas, right? Like, fellas, I was getting played to the left by every single chick. I had a bunch of female friends, right? And they all would tell me I'm a good guy. Baby, if I'm a good guy, why you don't want to be with me, right? Why you playing me to the left? Why you vented to me about the guy that keep cheating on you at 3 a.m. in the morning and asking me to be there for you, but you go back to him the next day? I didn't understand it. And all these insecurities with, the porn addiction, all the insecurities with the females, that led me to drink, fellas. I was drinking every other night. I never speak about this, fellas. I was addicted to wine. Like I had to drink some wine to feel normal. If I was gonna be around people, I would drink wine just to like make it so I wouldn't think thoughts about myself that I thought they were thinking about me and make it weird and awkward. Like I would have like 4 bottles of wine on the bedside of my bed. And at this time I was living with my grandparents. He doesn't even know this. My grandfather's a pastor. So I'm doing all of this sinning in a pastor's house, right? You add the addicted to wine to the equation. You add the addicted to porn to the equation. Then you have to take into consideration that my finances are in a nut hole right now, fellas, right? I'm working for this company called Maxim Healthcare. One of the hardest jobs I ever did in my life up until this day. Very fast-paced environment and recruitment, And, I was working 8 to 10 hour days, but it was my first job. So I'm making that transition from college, on top of being a skinny dweeb, on top of being addicted to porn, on top of the chicks playing me to the left. And I just was like, dude, this cannot be my life, fellas, right? And I was working this job and I hated it, fellas. And it got to the point where they let me go. Right, and my finances in the rut, but when they let me go, fellas, I was basically in this position where I was in the middle of buying a condo. My mom was my realtor at the time, and I was one of her first clients, right? And being that my mom was an early realtor, she wasn't educated on everything that she is now, so the closing costs ended up being a lot more than what she told me, right? So I'm in a position, I just closed on this condo, but I lost my job. I'm a skinny dweeb, I'm broke and depressed, right? And the condo, it wasn't like an updated condo, fellas. It was like I had to update everything. I had to fix the painting on the walls. I had to fix the floors, right? I had no furniture, so I'm in this position where I'm in all this debt. My job just let me go. I'm losing my hair, by the way, fellas, due to all of that accumulated stress. It was so bad, fellas. I got to the point where I would I didn't even want to go to church because at church you can't wear a do-rag. I was wearing a do-rag everywhere I went to hide my hairline. But in church you can't do that. You got to just show your hair, and you can't wear a do-rag to church, especially in my grandfather's church. And I remember going to church and they said you couldn't wear that, and I made an excuse to go home because I was so insecure with my hairline, fellas, right? And it got to a point, fellas, I remember I was on a date at a restaurant similar to this. I'm with a chick. I got a hat on the whole date. Everything's going well. This is around the same time. Another thing, fellas, I was trying to date, and my life was in shambles, which is a whole nother video for a whole different day, right? I didn't have my ducks in a row, but I'm on this date. Everything's going well. Thank you so much. You guys brought me a shot, too? Wow. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. So I'm in this position. I'm at this date. I got a hat on. Boom, boom, boom. The date went well. Whatever case may be. A couple days later, she FaceTimed me, and this was the second time she FaceTimed me. I missed the call, so I answered it, and my hat was off, and she saw my hairline, and she never talked to me again. Right, so I'm going through all these trials and tribulations. I'm stressed out, and it was just one day, fellas, I just looked in the mirror and I said, man, this can't be my life. Like, something has to give. And I was listening to a lot of Eric Thomas at this time, watching a lot of Eric Thomas, Andrew Tate, and Aman Ghazi, to be exact. And it just, they really inspired me. And I would wake up every morning and I would read those. I would watch their videos, and I would make these notes that my guys in my mentorship have called daily motives. And it was basically these notes that would motivate me. And I would read different ones every single day. And I would wake up at 5, go to the gym, work my 9 to 5, and DoorDash. That was my life for a very long time. And it got to the point where I transitioned my physique. My physique got to what it is now. And I also was blessed with the opportunity. A woman that I worked with at that job that I was stressed out about put me onto a new job at this startup company. I was making about $60,000 a year, and then I got promoted, and I was making about $75,000. So I was there for about a year and a half, and at this point things were going pretty decent. You know, I ended up getting tatted. I ended up getting a beard. My physique was on point. This is the first time in my life that chicks started giving me choosing signals, man. But one thing that I realized when I got to this point, okay, I'm making good income. I got this BMW. I'm jacked. But I'm really not this 1% man. I'm not really checking every single seat. I'm just doing better than most men. And me being in the middle of the pack, it really bothered me, fellas, right? And that's when I met a young lady, right? And at this point, when I met this young lady, fellas, I thought she was the woman that I was going to spend the rest of my life with. I come in here and I'm transparent. I don't have no ego with this shit. And she, you know, it didn't work out. She had some shitty qualities, but she also had some great qualities, if I'm keeping it a buck, right? But when I was with this woman, you know, a dweeb thing of me, I decided to move to Dallas, right, with her, right? Like, she was living with me, I was paying the rent, but I wasn't in a position mentally or financially to really be trying to take care of two people, right? But the thing about it, fellas, I knew subconsciously that I was right in the middle of the pack. I knew subconsciously that right now I really shouldn't be dating. I already had an X amount of experience with chicks in high school and college. Right now is really not the best time, but I'm letting her get in my head, and I'm letting my lust get in my head, and I'm not making the right decisions to be the man I need to be, and I'm prioritizing this chick over the shit that really matter. I knew that subconsciously, but I wasn't taking any action to alter those thoughts and those beliefs that I have. So I moved with this chick, fellas, and I kid you not, a week after moving in with her, I lost my job, right? And what I want to do, fellas, is I didn't even know I was doing content creation at this point, but what I did, fellas, is I basically documented it, man. And so what I want to do, fellas, I want to watch this video with you, and this was exactly the day that I lost my job, and I just want you to see the emotion in it. And it's funny, fellas, because as dark as a place as I was in the beginning of this video, when I was telling you I was addicted to porn, drinking wine, chicks was playing me to the left, and my finances in a nutshell, I was at and I never said this before, I was at a darker place at this very moment, this day, right? Let's watch together. So with y'all, man, it's been a minute since I came on here and talked. But I had to come here today because it's just like, shit just can't get worse than what it is, man. But basically, man, today is Thursday, May 2nd. I moved to Dallas on April 28th. This is my 4th day here. Just got here, barely settled in. Like, the bed is still, I'm sleeping on the floor. Bed's not even set up. But today I got fired from my real job. So to be honest with you guys, man, when I got this job, they told me a certain salary. And then when it was time for an offer, they didn't hold up to that. They gave me basically $7,000 lower than what they were supposed to give me. So from the beginning, I was really locked in, really motivated to kind of work my way up and show them my value. And then 6-month mark came, and
they basically couldn't do nothing for me financially. So mixed with that, as well as, focusing heavily on my business, I can take 100% accountability and say that I was not fully engaged with this job, and it's my fault. 100% is my fault. I don't have no fingers to point, but it just couldn't have came at a worse time, man. Like, I'm all fucked up financially. Yeah, my girlfriend was right there when they fired me, so that was embarrassing. Um, yeah, man, like my stomach hurt, man. Just mentally all over the place, man. I gotta document it, and let y'all know that this shit get tough, man. Life. Even when you're trying to be better, be the best as you can be, start a business, invest in yourself, things that happen. And I just wanted to be transparent with y'all and speak about that. So that's kind of where I'm at, man. I have to talk to my girlfriend, see what she can and cannot pay for. I apply for unemployment. But yeah, man, I'm gonna start applying for some jobs, I guess. I really don't know. I don't know. But yeah, that's where I'm at, y'all. So it's probably the worst I've felt in a long time. I can only remember like one or two of the days of my life where I felt the way I feel right now. Yeah. So that's all I got, man. Pray for me, man. But I get through this season of my life. But yeah. Peace.
Fellas, I watched that video even before I started recording, man, and that's the same thought process I have now. I don't even know who that is, man. If you hear my tonality, the uncertainty in my voice, the unconfidence, like you can just feel the energy through the video, fellas. Like that was the darkest time of my life till this day, fellas. Like it's one thing to lose your job, fellas, but it's another thing to lose your job with a chick, fellas. Like me even hearing that I gotta like God, thank God willing, I didn't have to ask her for no money, and financially this didn't affect her at all. Besides the fact that I couldn't take her on dates, which I'll get to in a second. But just the fact that I even said like I'm gonna have to see what she can pay for just makes my stomach hurt and gives me the ick, fellas, because it fucks with your pride as a man. Like we're the providers, we're the leaders, we're the protectors, and me just being a dweeb with my job allowed me to lose it right when I moved in with this chick. And then right when I lost that job, fellas, everything when the relationship went downhill. It got even darker, and I didn't document it a lot, but I can give you kind of a glimpse of what was going on, man. It basically was the chick that I was with, fellas, was accustomed to a certain lifestyle, a certain dates, a certain amount of attention and time. And I was in such a dark time, not only mentally but financially at that time. I couldn't give her that, man. And I wasn't the best guy for her in that regard. And it caused so much tension and so much friction. And got to a point where we was arguing every single day. I would act like I was about to leave and then leave. She would act like she was about to leave and then leave. We would go back and forth and act like we was about to break the lease but didn't break the lease. And it got to a point where I was fed up, she was fed up, and she decided to break the lease without telling me. And we was in an apartment, fellas, where you only needed one signature to break the lease, and she broke the lease and she moved to Cleveland the next day. Mind you, all the furniture is hers at this point. I left my furniture in Cleveland. We moved from Charlotte to Dallas. That's where she was basing at because she was a flight attendant, right? So it's all her furniture. So when she leave, it's just me and a mattress, fellas. Me and a mattress. And the funny thing about it, I was posting these videos. If you go watch back, you wouldn't have never knew I was going through what I was going through. I was still posting, right? And I was in a position like, these jobs keep letting me go. I keep going through these trials and tribulations. Like, what do? Do I get another job, right? Or do I take a risk, fellas? And I was in a position where her breaking the lease, I had to get another apartment. But how am I getting another apartment if I don't have a job and I don't have proof of income? Right, but luckily I had a great relationship with the lady at the front desk, and she allowed me to do an apartment transfer for about $500, and was just like, hey, you're gonna have to figure out a way. And I had a devil on my shoulder and an angel on my shoulder, fellas, and the devil was telling me to get another job, the angel was telling me to take a risk. And I decided to listen to God and take a risk. And I can tell you right now, fellas, during that time I never got closer with God more. I had so much uncertainty once I spent my last into a mentorship to learn what I did today, fellas, but it all worked out, fellas. I fucking slept probably a total of 12 hours within 3 days studying the course that I bought to learn what I do today. And then I launched, and within my first month of business, I made $30,000.
You just spent your last on this mentorship. Don't know how I'm gonna pay rent.
It's my boy Kyle, one of my elite clients. He had 30K a month right now. There's a you in 6 months who already has this. Y'all just wait. Y'all gonna see the testimonial video where he gets the yours. 3 months. It's gonna happen.
On 1% 100X collab on the way, man.
It's already yours.
It's already mine. I'm looking down on it. It's just a matter of time, man. Right? And now, fellas, I'm in the position where I can get any chick that I want to, right? I'm handsome. I don't work for anybody, right? I've had 30K months, 20K weeks, 10K days. I've had it all, and I'm nowhere near my potential. I have so much more to give. But the thesis of what I'm trying to tell you, fellas, is it doesn't matter if you're that cry that's at rock bottom with his physique and his mindset, or maybe one or the other, right? Maybe your finance is good, but your mindset's not right. Or you're that cry that's right in the middle of the fact. You got the physique, right? But you work in that job and not maximizing your purpose, not maximizing your mindset, not checking every single seat, and not truly a 9. Maybe at that third level that you hear me speak about, you're at that normal amount of action level, but you're not at the massive level. It doesn't matter which avatar you are. I can relate to you, fellas. And one of the main thesis of what I want you to get from this guy is I'm going to give you the step-by-step process and the blueprint that I use and my brothers in 1% Academies use that allowed me to go from Cry Avatar 1 to Cry Avatar 2 to Cry I Am Today. And I'm still using this system to give me the Cry Avatar 4, which will basically be that final boss, fellas. So I know this video was lengthy, fellas, but I really want you to pay attention and dial in to everything that I'm saying while I eat this food. They brought me a couple more drinks, man. Now I'm in the position, fellas, I'm not drinking to escape my reality. I'm drinking to celebrate my reality, right? And I don't drink often. I didn't even ask for these. They just brought it out. Like you see, I got the water right here, right? But I want you guys to really pay attention and implement everything I'm giving you. I know it's lengthy, fellas, but again, I used to watch 7-hour courses, man. I promise you, if you listen to everything I'm about to tell you during this step-by-step guide, 2027 will be the best year of your life, and you'll be that 1% man. You'll get your lick back. You'll make motherfuckers regret how they did you. You'll make your family proud. You'll make your kids proud. You'll be able to have that life of abundance, fellas, and not live a scarcity life and be confident with the man that you see in the mirror, because I promise you, I was in your same position as you just saw. So without further ado, I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's get right into it.
All right, fellas, now that you understand my story, now that you understand that I went from this to this from a physical acumen standpoint, now that you understand I went from that Jap dweeb to the man that I am now, and now that you understand that I'm going to use the same system I'm about to show you right now to go from the cry I am now to 100K cry, driving a Lamborghini Urus cry, and retire my mother cry. Now that you understand that, let's get into the nitty gritty, brother. The motivational shit is over. Let's get into the shit that really matters, because information isn't shit without action. If I got two motherfuckers, one that knows how to chop down a tree and one that doesn't, but the one that doesn't at least tries, I'm gonna roll with that motherfucker because he's taking action. But if you can put information with the action, brother, you're fucking Thanos with this 1% shit, brother. So what I'm gonna show you is the step-by-step system that not only allowed me to get the transformation that you saw and come from the story that you just seen, right? But also get results like this, what you're seeing on the motherfucking screen. And I've been able to use this unbreakable system to help my brothers achieve the same thing, whether it's fitness standards, right? Income standards, business standards, system standards, whatever it is. This system has been unbreakable and you can implement it, brother. I promise you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the screen. All right, fellas, you always hear me say, what separates winners from losers? Systems. Everybody January 1st says this is going to be my year, but why isn't everybody's year at the end of the year? December 31st, why is it that 5% of individuals have only reached the objectives they set to obtain because they relied on their emotions? Emotions comes and goes. You must rely on a system, right? So this is a dashboard that all of my brothers get in 1% Academy. Now, you don't have to join 1% Academy. It doesn't make me a difference, brother. You can do this on your own, right? But I just want to show you the system and you can build this out yourself. Before I had this fancy dashboard, fellas, everything I'm about to share with you, I created on Apple Notes. So you can do the same. I just want to show you the foundations of the principles so you can recreate this yourself to make 2027 the best year of your life, right? So I'm going to briefly go through what this dashboard entails with our system, fellas, and then show you a few different examples of how it's not really a one size fits all. It's really customized based on your objectives, right? So first and foremost, one of the most important aspects of my program in this dashboard, in this unbreakable system, right, is the mindset mastery, right? What this is, fellas, is that we're reminding ourselves. A lot of men think they need more information, but in reality, we just need to be reminded of the information we already know. So I'll get into the power list in a second. But basically, fellas, every single day, my guys and myself are reminding ourselves, right, of the pain that we're running away from and the positive objectives that we're running towards. The first resource that we use for that is called the Villain versus Hero. Right? So this is my brother Cherokee's villain. This is everything that he's running away from, right? And this is his hero. This is everything that he's running towards. And during this 6 month with me, fellas, right? He's right here, right? He's right in the middle of what he prayed for,
right? That's one of the reminders. The second reminder, fellas, is a list of hate, list of love, right? But before I get into that, let me explain the villain versus hero. The villain versus hero is more internal. What you think about yourself. I am, I am, I am. So the villain will be, I am a skinny dweeb, cry. I am losing my hair, right? The hero would be, I am 8 to 10% body fat, right? I am a man with a beard. That would have been my hero at that time, fellas. It's more internal. List of hate, list of love, fellas, is more external, right? The material things that you wish to obtain, right? And all the people and situations that put you in the darkest time of your life. Now, I'm not going to show Cherokee's list of love because it gets very personal and in depth, fellas, right? But for you fellas, this might be the list of hate might be a chick that lets you go. It might be a job that lets you go. It might be a family member that made you feel some kind of way, a friend that made you feel some kind of way. I guarantee you when those situations happen, you were extremely motivated to be a better man, but you just forgot. We want to remind ourselves every single day within specific margins throughout the day to allow us to be the man that we need to be. Because for every man, it's different. Sometimes we hit that dweeb wall first thing in the morning. Sometimes we hit it right after work. Sometimes we hit it at night. For me personally, fellas, it was right after work. Right after work, I wanted to scroll, beat my dick, drink wine, all of the stuff you heard me saying in the first introduction, fellas, right? But once I reminded myself, right, it made me lock back in that specific margin. Like, nah, I can't do that because I'm working towards this. I can't do that because I'm letting them win. I can't do that because I refuse to let them see me lose, right? The last resource we have, fellas, is the letter to self, right? Now, I want to show you briefly my letter to self. One thing that I wish Cherokee would have did that he didn't, right, is add images to it, right? So the letter to self, fellas, is basically, right, a letter that you're writing to your future self of the man that you wish to be. This is an older letter of myself, right? This is back when I wanted the Corvette, right? This is how I wanted my penthouse. This is how I wanted my kitchen. This is how I wanted to dress. And it's funny, fellas, because some of this stuff I already have. Some of it, you can even see the 100K a month right here, fellas, but I got something on here like living in Texas, escaping my cry never has to work a 9 to 5 again. I already did that, but I had to speak it into existence. One thing you got to understand, fellas, your perception is your reality. Your frequency is what you frequently see. Right? So before I could obtain all of these things, before Cherokee could obtain all of these things, he has to see it. Right? So these are the main 3 resources we want to read on an everyday basis, right? I asked every guy on the second call, I say, what are your top 2? But let's say they come to the second call and they say, hey, Cry, the letter to self really resonated with me, but the villain versus hero, the list 8, list 11, they really didn't. What I include and what I talked about in the introductory, fellas, is that daily motives. When I was watching the Eric Thomas, the Aman Ghazis, these was the notes I was taking on an everyday basis. And ironically enough, this is pretty much my guys' favorite resources out of those 4, right? But they're able to just read those motivational quotes that gonna lock them in at that specific margin to be reminded of their why. You guys always hear me say when the why is big enough, the how doesn't matter. This will remind you of your why. I say a lot of these in my videos, fellas. Life doesn't get easy, you just get stronger, right? You can screenshot this right now and keep it for yourself, right? You have to suffer to reap the real benefits, right? Wednesday, when it feels scary to jump in, otherwise you'll stay in the same spot. Thursday, will you let your praying break you or redefine you, right? Friday, there's 168 hours in a week. If you're spending 0 hours outside of work and not focusing on improving yourself and executing your standards, you'll be the same man in 5 years, right? Saturday, your comfort zone is dangerous, right? Friday, all millionaires have a high stress tolerance. So just reminding yourself like, damn, I just got this 9 to 5. I don't feel like doing X. I don't feel like doing Y. My boss getting on my nerves. My kids getting on my nerves. When you're reminded of this, it's like, this is what I asked for. I said I wanted to eat more. Now more than stone on my plate. And now I don't want to eat it. Right? Now I'm not starving. It's 3 types of motherfuckers. Motherfuckers that want to eat, motherfuckers that's hungry, motherfuckers that's starving. This will remind you, you say in that starving frequency, fellas, right? Another thing that we do, fellas, is that we don't read books, we study books. So if you look at Cherokee's dashboard, he's on about his 6th book, right? But what we do, fellas, is we study the books. So when we're reading these books, fellas, you want to take the key takeaways, the most important lessons and insights. You want to take into action items, specific steps that you took to apply what you learned, and any personal reflections, right? If I look at these, it's packed, right? It's packed, right? A lot of guys, they read books, they feel super motivated when they read it, and then they just forget everything that they learned the next day. We don't want to do that. So when Cherokee leaves 1% Academy, instead of these being his daily reads, these can be his daily reads, right? Fellas, why do you think I'm able to speak so well? Why do you think I can go in front of a 50-minute, in front of a whiteboard for 50 minutes and talk with no script? Because I don't read these books, fellas. I study these books. So yeah, it might take me a little bit longer to read them, but the information is sticking. I don't remember what I ate for dinner last night, fellas, but I bet if I wrote it down and read it every day, I would, right? That's all memory is, fellas. It's not about, time. It's about frequency, right? So you don't have to read these notes for 50 minutes a day, but we're just reading them 5 minutes every single day. That's how the information will stick. So you can see he got it for the 10X rule, right? He got it for all these takeaways, right? I'll even show you guys something real quick in my community, right? What we have is a Something that we have in our classroom is called 1% Library, and I have in-depth breakdowns of all of these books as well that my guys are able to read. Like this one's 40 minutes. This one's about 48 minutes. I want to say one of these, what is this one? An hour and two, right? Of me going really, really in depth. But I have my guys watch that and then they still read it, right before, fellas, right? But let's go back to Cherokee's dashboard, right? So that's something that we do as well. We don't want to just read books. We want to study books, right? So that's everything from a mindset mastery standpoint, right? Next, we get into the training. But before I do, I want to show you a little bit of the output standards, right? Cherokee's 16 weeks in 1% Academy, right? This was him when he came in. This is him now, right? He came in at about 20% body fat. Now he's at 12. You're probably like, holy fuck, Cry, he looks amazing. You want to know why he looks amazing, fellas? Because we understand the importance of systems, right? Let me not get into the training. Let's get into the habits right now. What we have in 1% Academy is a power list, right? And if you go right here, this is the same as this is my power list. This is what I use, right? These are the high leverage tasks that must get done on a day-to-day basis. But if you go to Cherokee's, right, he has the same exact thing. But you can see his looks a lot different than mine. Mine looks a lot different than his, right? But he has to train and log every day. He has to do 8K steps. He has to hit his calories. He has to hit his protein. He has to read those mindset mastery resources. He can't spend his money dumb. He has to read 12 pages and take notes, gallon of water, 90 minutes of Spanish. He does day trading, so 60 minutes of back testing. And we're able to track that. And once he wins that day, he just checks it off in the weekly analysis. Once he checks it off in the weekly analysis, he checks it off in the monthly analysis. And we're able to see, right, how many days he's able to win week to week. This is the full accountability is here. A lot of guys want to think. We don't want to think. We want to know. We want to be certain. You keep guessing, brother. You don't know how many times you went to the gym. You know how many times you showed up for that deep work session. You don't know. You think you've been locked in. We know Cherokee's been locked in. Why? Because we can see what we call a PCR, powerless completion rate. And what that is it gives him a score of how many days and by the way, fellas, he has to complete all of these to win a day. So how many days did he win? Fellas, I had a guy go 100% from the field. Cherokee's right behind that guy. Out of the 100 days Cherokee's been with me, he's only missed one day. Fellas, that means out of everything on this list, right? Everything on this list, he only missed one day. It's no wonder he has the results that you're seeing right here. What? No, in 16 weeks. No fucking shit, brother. Because he's showing up every single day and he has a list that he's able to see and track. So the proof is there. You can see 7, 7, 7, 7, not missing any days. He's dialed, fellas. He's dialed. Right? How can you lose if on a day-to-day basis, this is the output I want to get to, right? These are the inputs that I must follow on an everyday basis to get there. And I can see over the course of days, weeks, and months, the percentage that I do it, it's inevitable. It doesn't matter what your standards are. It's inevitable, fellas. It's inevitable, right? Now, I'll go over the fitness briefly, fellas, right? It's very, very in-depth. We follow the same ideology with tracking. All of the workouts are here. So when he clicks here, he's able to watch me do the workout. We calculate the sets. We calculate the weight. We calculate the failure reps. Very, very simple. From a workout plan standpoint, from a meal plan standpoint, these are his macronutrients. He's able to add these into MyFitnessPal, right? And he's on factor 75 right now. So that's why you're not seeing a meal plan. But here we have all of his supplements that he needs, right? If you're cutting, you don't really need any supplements except for this protein shake. If you're bulking, fellas, I recommend this one, as well as creatine, right? And then we get into a weight loss tracker where he's able to track his weight week to week. A lot of our fine nut stuff is here. A lot of our looks maxing stuff is here. All the stuff from a grooming standpoint, mouth hygiene, cologne, hair growth, beard growth, all of that stuff we get into, fellas. But the main thing I want you to take away from this dashboard specifically is the mindset mastery resources and the power list, right? I want to show you one of my favorite resources, right, that my brother Cherokee didn't really use, but my brother Marquise used tremendously. Right. So if you go to Marquise Mindset Mastery, he has this resource called Delete the Demon. Right. You always hear me say there's 4 stages to a habit: cue, craving, response, reward. With porn specifically, cue would be you're on, Instagram seeing a chick that's doing Bulgarian split squats. Craving will be like, damn, I'm horny. Let me go on Pornhub. The response would be you jacking off, and the reward would be you ejaculating. Ironically enough, Marquise was dealing with that porn addiction similar to myself. So what we're able to do with this Delete the Demon is we're able to track when he does do it. So we're able to analyze the cues and cut them off altogether. So with this, fellas, we're able to understand the time that he did it, right? What triggered it? What was he doing before? How did he feel after? What was the urge level, right? And once we gather all this data, you can see after what? 1, 2, 3, after 3 weeks, Marquise had cut out porn completely. After being I want to say it was about maybe 5 years before joining 1% Academy. Don't quote me. I want to say I actually just dropped this case study. Go watch my recent case study, right? But over the course of his life, he got in 1% Academy for 3 weeks. We were able to cut that out with this resource. It's probably my second favorite resource. I'll get into the first in a second. But it doesn't matter if it's I've had guys and it was weed. I've had guys and it was scrolling. I had guys and it was vaping. I have guys obviously and it was porn. When you're able to analyze the data, you can see, damn, I'm only doing it at night. So how about I add something to my power list to put my phone on the other side of the room? Damn, I'm only doing it when I'm bored. So how about I implement a deep work session so I know it's something to do? So on this power list, it didn't get to a point, I want to say to the last week where we added no FAP. But from week 1 to 11, no FAP wasn't on there. It was more so we were creating a system to eliminate the cues to allow him to not beat his meat, fellas, right? I'll show you another one of my favorite resources, right? So this is my brother Drew, right? Now, Drew's unique, fellas, right? There's typically a few different guys that I can help. A guy that's trying to maximize his fitness, maximize his YouTube, maximize his coaching, but also maximize his systems with this specific purpose. And that's what Drew joined my mentorship for. Drew's an individual already making 14 to 16K a month. He more so needed the accountability with the productivity and the systems. So as you can see, he has a lot of time management assessments over here, right? I don't know why my camera's not working anymore. Here we go, right? And what this is, fellas, is what we do, fellas. What Drew does is he tracks what he does every 30 minutes, right? Now, the rules with this, fellas, is that he has to be one descriptive. So don't just put work, Drew. Put client outreach and follow-ups. Don't just put social media. Put I was on YouTube scrolling, watching tech videos. Don't just put break. Put I was on a coffee break reviewing morning tasks. That's the first rule, to be extremely descriptive, right? And the second rule is just be radically honest. This isn't for me to get on a call with the guy and say, you fucking dweeb. It's not for that. It's for you to see, to be the man that you want to be, brother. It's not a time issue. It's a priority issue. The time is there. So Drew is doing this more frequently than a lot of guys. Typically, if you join my program for the 12-week, you do it once. If you're doing it for the 6 month, you do it twice. Depending on your objectives, you may do it more than that. It all can vary, fellas, right? But what we're able to see, Drew has done this 3 times, right? So what I do on the analysis is I come back with the data, right? So you can see, right? Assessment 2, he was 50 hours towards priority. Assessment 3, he's 30 hours to priority. Assessment 4 is 28, right? So you can see we've been able to be more efficient with the same outputs with less time, which is a big needle mover for Drew. Drew came to my mentorship like, yo, Cry, I want to get to 100K a month. By the way, he just had a 7K week, right? My guy's killing it right now. Why? Because he has a system, right? But the main thing for Drew is like, yo, Cry, I want to be able to be so efficient with my time that I can still get the same output, but be more efficient. And as you can see, we've been able to do that. So the priority hours are going down, but we've still been able to hit our weekly objectives, right? Priority is just the high leverage tasks that are making the man he needs to be. Neutral, all that is fellas, the things that he has to do every day, like cleaning, shower, eating. And misaligned is anything that's not giving a point to the man he needs to be. As you can see, assessment 2, he only had 7.5 hours of misaligned, right? Assessment 3, he decreased that by about 72%. So that week, he only did 2 hours of like the bullshit, fellas, scrolling, talking on the phone, going out, right? Assessment 4, he fucked up a little bit. He did go on a date. My doggy went on a date. But the beautiful thing about it is he was still able to have high output. You could see, right? He still was able, even with 28 hours, able to do the things that he needed to do, right? We're also able to see the percentages. We're also able to see the top 3 links. So the top 3 misaligned from assessment 2 to assessment 3 to assessment 4 was the naps midday, right? Which is all about going to sleep on time, right? But we're able to collect the data, right? But the only reason we're able to collect this data is because Drew does a phenomenal job of actually doing it, right? So hold on, let me go to the actual assessment. He actually logs every 30 minutes, right? So we're able to have the data and assess it, and then assess his Google Calendar, assess his power list, which would equate to him being the man that he needs to be. Right? Now you're probably looking at like, what is all this stuff? All this stuff is deliverables. That's just stuff that's due before the next call. So Drew has to do this stuff for me before the next call, but he still has the same system, right? If we go back to Cherokee, this is Cherokee's power list, right? Very day trading oriented, very fitness oriented. We go to Drew's, it's very content oriented and very system and time management oriented. So everything is customized to your objectives. It's not a one size fits all, right? So Drew's one of those guys, didn't come in my program for fitness, didn't need help with coaching, but needs more help with that accountability, the system, and the time management and productivity aspect, right? Lastly, I'll show you my brother Caleb, right? This is Caleb. Caleb came specifically for coaching, right? So his dashboard looks a lot different than the ones that you saw, right? He doesn't even have anything fitness on here. He just has productivity, content, fulfillment, sales. He's already, brother, his physique's better than mine. He's just coming in strictly for coaching. So if you look at his power list, right, looks a lot different. All content KPIs, 2 trial reels, 2 short form, 2 long form. He has more so 35 pages weekly, fellas. Like the ideology with this is his margins are so tight with work that every day he can't read. But if he reads 5 pages a day over the course of several days, that's 35 pages. So the days that he doesn't work, he just reads about 15 to 17 pages on the weekends to equate to that 35 instead of having to read 5 every day because the margins Monday through Friday are so tight. right? So that's something you could do as well. If your margins are super tight, just change these from daily to weekly objectives. But as you can see, Mindset Mastery, 10 IG stories a day, all content related KPIs, right? We got something called a YouTube command center here. So he's able to track, right, where he is with his YouTube, right, his not started column, his posted column, any videos that are in the recording process, any vids that are scheduled, and any vids that are editing. Fellas, I'm not showing you just the picture of my program. This is all stuff you can create. I used a Google sheet for this. The main thing is that you have a system and accountability, right, to be able to track the things that you could do on a day-to-day basis. Fellas, that's what it's about. Right? So it doesn't matter if you need help with coaching, right? It doesn't matter if you need the accountability in the systems. It doesn't matter if you're trying to get in the best shape of your life and cut out your porn addiction. It doesn't matter if you're trying to maximize day trading while getting in the best shape of your life. It doesn't matter if you're trying to drive a Lamborghini Urus, right? Change men's lives and retire your mom. It doesn't matter, fellas. The system stays the same. It's just customized to you. So I challenge you, fellas, to build something like this in your Apple Notes promotion for you, so you're able to be the man that you need to be. Or if you understand that success loves speed, and you understand, why would I read doctor books for 20 years when I can learn the same information in 8, and you think you will be a good fit and you're ready to seek pain in the motherfucking trenches, you know that the link is in the comment section in the description section. Book a call. We'll see if you're a good fit, fellas. But that's the main thing I wanted you to understand from this section. Now I want to dive more into the value aspect, fellas, and understand that now that we have the system, there's still more information we need to know and be reminded of, so we're bulletproof in 2027. So without further ado, I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's get right into it.
All right, fellas, before I get into the value aspect of this guide, man, I want to speak with you guys a little bit about your why, right? Everybody's why is different. I believe in terms of why, it could be something positive that you're running towards or something negative that you're running away from. For me personally, fellas, positively wise, I want to make $100K a month. I want to retire my mom. I want to drive that Lamborghini Urus. Negative wise, I want to prove every motherfucker wrong that said I couldn't do it. Every job that let me go, every chick that made me feel like I wasn't enough, I have to prove them wrong. I have to get the last laugh. Call me petty. I don't give a fuck. That's me. It may be different for you, right? But once we get past that why, once we get that why, positive or negatively, once we accomplish that, right, we might have new whys. You hear me speak about new levels, new devils, right? Once you get to a certain level, you want more. That's human nature. We understand that. There was once upon a time, I thought a BMW, a sleeve, and a beard, I was him. Now, brother, I'm not shit. I understand there's so many more levels of life and so much more potential I can reach. So we understand that. But once you, to a certain extent, get that first why, it then comes about freedom, right? It then comes about freedom. It then comes with having that abundance mindset, being able to buy whatever you want, work whenever you want, have the time and location freedom with what you love to do, doing what you love to do. That's what it's about, fellas, right? Having an abundance of freedom. I have a little bit of freedom now, but I don't have the full abundance, right? I'm not really living in that penthouse like I want. I'm not driving that car that I want. Maybe I'm not even living in the city that I want, right? From an abundance mindset, but all of that is accumulated to freedom. The reason I speak about the 9 to 5 being a rat race and to escape your 9 to 5, it's not shitting on 9 to 5s. Income is income. What I'm shitting on, fellas, is that you're dependent on another person to pay your fucking rent. You're dependent on another person to put food on the table. You're dependent on another person on when you can take vacation. There's no freedom. It's like the new form of slavery, right? And I want you motherfuckers to get that sense of freedom as fast as you can, right? But what a lot of men don't think about is, when is that, right? When do we want to get to the point where we have that freedom? Are we just going to work? Are we going to be grinding, doing these 4 hours of deep work, sacrificing our weekends, sacrificing our mornings, going through our season of no for the rest of our life? When does it end? When do we get that threshold where we can live comfortably, right? And that's going to be the main component of what I cover in the value aspect of this guide, fellas, right? When you really quantify and think about what it really takes to have that freedom, what is the number? What is the age? What is the amount of inputs quantitatively that I'll have to put in to get to that number? You realize, holy shit, I can't keep wasting time. I said 2024 was the year, but it wasn't. I said 2025 was the year, but it wasn't. I said 2026 the year, but it wasn't. 2027 has to be the year. So I want you to truly take in exactly what I'm saying in this value aspect of this guide, fellas, and implement it, right? Be the man that you're supposed to be. Have that freedom. Nothing is obtainable. From a human capacity standpoint, you can be on an Elon Musk level. He bleeds shit to pieces like you. Why does he have trillions and you don't? He's a human being. He's not an alien. But I can tell you right now, Elon Musk understood these principles, these ideologies that I'm about to break down right now. So without further ado, I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's get right into it. Doggy. My brother Tyrone, my brother Cherokee, my brother Tavane. What's the fucking word, man?
My fucking boy, Corey P. What's the fucking word, doggy?
What's going on?
We got a good one, man. I'm excited. Man. Something I've never talked about ever. So let's go ahead and kick it off, man. I'm not gonna waste no time, man. I'm just gonna go in alphabetical order. Tavane, can you hear me? What age do you want to retire? I can't hear you.
What it do? What it do?
Tavane, I can't hear you. You got yourself muted. What up, Doug? You got my boy Drew. First group call, Drew. Mr. 7K Week. Tavane, talk to me. I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, doggy, what age do you want to retire?
25.
Why?
I feel like 25, to me, it's always been a significant age, you know, in my life or so. So it's always been 25.
Okay. Cherokee, when do you want to retire? What age?
Yeah. I got 141 days left, right? 28.
28? Okay, 28. Okay, why 28?
Yeah, I'm 28 right now. It's the end of the year.
Oh, so you want to retire this year?
Yeah, bro. Hey, you got 10x my efforts. Keep 10x my efforts, bro.
My guy. Okay, say no more. My brother Corey P, when do you want to retire?
I don't have like an age. I just want to be in a position to where, like, I don't have a high net worth. I don't have to work per se. And I just have that freedom where I can do whatever I want.
But we all know success of speed, and we all know if you say that, you'll just give yourself all the time in the world to do it. So if you could, like, best case scenario, no limit of lease, what age would you want that life? You could say right now, you could say 30, you could say 32.
Where I can do whatever I want.
Yep.
I'll say by 35.
35? Okay. Doug, what age do you want to retire?
Hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you, doggy.
All right. Age, dog. I don't know. You asked the wrong person. Not wrong. I don't know. I'm be real, because the thing is, like, work to me is fun. It's like, it's fun to me. So it's like, it's kind of like an addiction. It's like, I enjoy this shit.
Okay, let me ask you this. If you guys are like, because I'm like that too, right? So more so, what age do you want to have complete abundance freedom?
Okay, so top of the mountain type vision.
Yeah.
Age, tomorrow. Facts. Tomorrow. ASAP.
Okay.
I need it now.
Okay, I love that. And okay, say no more. Drew.
What's up?
Mr. 7K Week, doggy, when do you want to retire?
30.
30. Okay, why?
That's just always been the number, you know. I don't know. I feel like that's realistic. I kind of know, you know, how much you got to make to be like retired. So I think I got enough time and 7.5 years to do that.
My guy. Okay. Who next? Kevy Kev. What age you want to retire, doggy? Kevy Kev, can you hear me? No mic, but 40. Okay, say no more. Tyrone, last but not least, my new brother. What age you want to retire, doggy?
I'm gonna have to say, with entrepreneurship, it's never gonna be an age, because I'm not gonna get complacent. Like, I'm gonna always be doing something, even if I'm going somewhere just to speak about what I used to do to help someone else. Like, I'm never gonna be comfortable at all. I don't want to be. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
No, that makes sense. That's what Doug said. Let me actually. Okay, so even though you're gonna stay consistent with your inputs till you in the coffin, what age do you want to have that abundance of, like, man, I'm set for life, output wise? What age is that for you?
I'm 41 now. That was probably 29.
29. Okay, so hold on. You wanted to hit that at 29?
No, I was living in carnality. I was in the streets.
Okay. So you would say like 11 years, like since you was 29.
No, I hit my goal in 29, right? And then
I see what you're saying.
Life collapsed. I'm
Okay.
here at 41 trying to do everything the right way.
I got you.
So you get me, but I'm just a hustler, man. I'm never going to, I get what you're saying though. So let's just say I'm 41. I'm like my buddy, like, shoot, the end of the year, man.
End of the year? Okay, say no more, say no more. Well, today's topic, fellas, is just that, retirement, right? So we're going to go over the life data, fellas. We're going to go over the average income versus the 1% income, additional considerations, the average retirement versus the 1% data, and then an interactive at the end with you guys, right? So without further ado, I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's get right into it, man. So first and foremost, fellas, right, as you may or may not know, I've said this in plenty of group calls. Try to mute yourself unless if you got a question, raise your hand. The average. You said what, doggy?
No, I'm saying, don't we get your answer?
My answer? Yeah, you can ask me. My answer, fellas, 30.
Gotcha.
30 at the earliest, 35 at the latest. That would be my answer. I appreciate you holding me accountable, Tyrone. I got an answer too, right? Now, we know the average American, they got to work roughly 23 to 65, right? That's the average, right? That equates to 43 working years, right? The average life expectancy, fellas, is 76. So that would be roughly 45% of their life. 45% of your life, you're going to be working a job that you do not like. 9 times out of 10, maybe you do like it, right? But 45% of your life, you're going to be working, right? Most men don't actually feel that number, fellas. They just go to work, come home, repeat year after year. Life goes by. They drift. We all know that. Hopefully none of you guys are doing that, right? But when you zoom out, right, and you realize that not only are you giving half of your life to a job, but a job that you don't love, the real question is, fellas, not do you work hard, right? Because if you're on this call, we're past that point. The real question is the work that you're doing creating the life that you actually want on an everyday basis? That has to be the question, right? When we look at it from an income standpoint, right, the average American makes $5,300 a month. That's average in the United States. By the way, this changes like weekly because I always look this up. It really changes a lot. But right now, the average is $5,300 a month, right? The estimated expenses, right? Expenses, for those that don't know, is basically your fixed costs, what it costs to live. So not like what you want to buy, what you need to buy. On average, costs $2,620, right? So if we do the simple math, the average American makes $5,300. These are the expensive. They're left with $2,680 a month, right? So fellas, this is before we even add in a spouse. This is before we add in kids, vacations, emergency, debt, investments, or even lifestyle upgrades. I know y'all like to buy nice things. We haven't even added in that, right? And the average American has $2,680 left, right? To me, fellas, and to a lot of you guys, I know for a fact from speaking with y'all, this is not a margin to build a 1% life. Right? Now let's look at the 1% income data. The 1% income from a monthly earner standpoint is $48,300 a month, right? Now, once you're making that money, you're also going to spend a lot more on your expenses. You might have a better house, a better car. The average expenses for individuals in that 1% tier of income, they spend about $20,000 a month, right? So if we do that math, right? 48,300 minus 20,000, they're left with about 30K a month versus the 2,600 that the average American is left with, right? So the 1% earner is stacking damn near 10 times what the average American has left over month to month, right? They get the same 30 days in a month. They get the same 365 to calendar year, but they have different margins, right? Now we get into the additional considerations, right? The stuff that we didn't factor in at first. The interesting thing about all this, fellas, is that we haven't factored it, but let's go ahead and do it. All of y'all, I'm sure, want a spouse. I know some of y'all want kids. All of y'all want a vacation. All of y'all like to take girls on nice dates. We all know girls like gifts. We all want to provide our family abundance of experiences. You always got to have some money for emergencies. We all want a better car, a better crib, or better clothes. We all do, right? We all know we should invest. And maybe some of us want to give, right? Hold on. I think somebody just tried to join my brother Caleb. Let me ask Caleb before we dive back in. Caleb, can you hear me, doggy? Caleb. Yes, sir. What age do you want to retire and why?
I'd say 35 is a good age.
Why?
Because I feel like that's when your life's just getting started.
Okay. Say no more. Say no more. Right? Now, once we factor in these things, fellas, right? Let's look at the real life cost of those things as well for the average individual, right? The average individual takes 2 vacations a year. That equates to 4,200 over the course of the year, but you have to put up about 350 a month, right? I know all you guys, maybe some of y'all believe in this, maybe y'all don't. I don't believe in 50-50. I believe in taking care of your shorty, if that's your shorty, right? Now, if that's your wife, right? Not a chick you dating, right? I believe in that, right? So once we add in the spouse living expenses, right? That's about another 1,800 a month, right? And another 20K a year. Once we add in the spouse's maintenance, we all know women like nice things. We know it, doggy. On a year-to-year basis, that's 4,200. Month to month, that's 350 you got to put up. Let's say you got 1 child, and this is just the averages, fellas. It could be higher or lower depending on like your like how much you spend, how much you don't. But this is just the average. On average, fellas, it's 20K a year to take care of 1 child. So that means you would have to put up 1,600 a month. For 2 children, it's 3,500 because it gets to the point where, like, you know, you get the hand-me-downs from the first child, you get them more custom. So that's why you're not seeing this 2X right there. But it's about 3,500 a year and about 3K every month. You go to 3 children, right? It goes to 50K annually, right? And 4K a month that you have to put up to take care of these children. Food, clothes, all of that shit. Schooling, all of that shit. You go to 4. On average, this isn't even like if you're trying to send them to like the best schools ever and put them in Louis and Dior. It's not even that. This is just average, fellas. 60K a year for 4 children, right? And 5K a year. 60K a year for 4 children. That would mean you have to put up about 5 a month, right? So let's go through an example with the math that we know, right? A realistic family on average, fellas, it's you, your wife, 2 kids, and you take 2 vacations a year. That would equate to 5K a month, right? Right. And with this example, we're basically considering that your wife don't have no income. But if she had income, it would be a little bit lower for this example. Right. But we have, based on what we just understand above about the average individual's income, they got about 2,680. So that means to take care of that family load, fellas, they're in the negative. They're underwater. That's why you see a lot of individuals in a lot of debt. Credit all the way through the roof, or maybe you have to pick up a second job, or maybe turmoil within the relationship because you're not providing her the lifestyle that she's seeing on social media, right? Maybe the depression that's coming within because you're not providing the lifestyle for your kids that you're seeing other kids have. Your kids are asking, Dad, why can't I get these shoes and you can't provide it for them? Why? Because you're trying to give them the bare minimum, but on average, we can't afford that, right? Now, if you look at the 1% earner, right? They got about 28,300 left over with this same example, month to month, right? I'm sorry. This is how much they was left over with month to month. If we use this same example, obviously they would probably spend a lot more, right? But they would have this much left, right? So they still have 19% left, right? They don't feel it the same way as that average individual, right? They don't. They don't stress the same way. They don't. They can take care of that. It's nothing, right? Once you got that abundance, right? They got the same expenses with that example, the same list, right? One person is in the negative, one family barely noticed, right? All because of the margin, right? Now we get into the retirement data, fellas, right? Once you factor in, fellas, this is why I always ask you guys, what's your purpose? And having purpose is so important. Even if you work a job, you should have something else that you love to do that you can monetize to either replace that or worst case scenario, like be able to guide you until you can get another job, right? This is why. Once you retire, fellas, once you factor in your 401k and your Social Security, the average American gets $4,000 a month. So that means when we retire at 65, the dweebs, they get $4K a month. But the average expenses for retired individuals, and I didn't know this for a fact because like this was how before my grandmother passed away, this is how she was living. It cost $2,620 a month to live. So my grandmother was left with, and retired individuals are left with on average, $1,380. $1,380, right? A month. I don't know about you guys, fellas, but working 45% of my life and then finally get to the point where I don't have to work anymore, but I only got $1,300 to my name to spend freely month to month. Not only that, but I'm an old wrinkled slob and my dick cut up, can't get up. Sounds like a miserable life, right? But most men are not aware of this. We don't think about this. We just think about the grind. What can I get now? What can I get now, right? But we don't think what's on the opposite end of not prioritizing your purpose and being the man you have to be and getting the fuck up out of this so you can retire early, right? Because the opposite end of this is not built on accident, fellas. It's built on having higher standards, higher leverage work, higher income skills, better decisions, better margins, more discipline, more sacrifice. If you want that 1% life, fellas, you cannot make average decisions and have average urgency and expect above average outcomes. It's delusional, right? All you guys set a timeline that was really, really short. I want to say the largest timeline was about 10 years that one of y'all said. That's quick, right? Is your work ethic matching that though? Let's see, right? So I'm going to go one by one, right? Give me 1 second. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to go in alphabetical order of what I'm seeing again. Bryce, how old are you?
21.
21. And when did you say you wanted to retire?
I didn't say, but I just put 40.
40? My fault, dog. Yeah, I thought I asked you. Okay, 40, right? Now, when you're 40, what's a monthly income that's bearable for you? That you feel like you can live freely on? Is it 10K? Is it 50K? Is it 100K? Is it $1 million? Or is it a lesser number?
10K.
10K? Okay. This is your freedom number. For you to retire at 40 and based on the average life expectancy, be able to live that life of freedom with 10K a month, this is your freedom number, 3 years. I'm sorry, 3 million, my bad, 3 million, right? So you have 19 years to get to that 3 million, right? That would equate to, if you started this month, about 5K a month, right? Now, obviously it can compound, your skill set can get better, right? And then like, instead of putting up 5K a month in a year from now, maybe you could put up 10 because you got a lot of clients, whatever the case may be. But if you started today, this is what it would look like, assuming that your skill set doesn't change. And once we factor in the 10,000 hour rule, you guys always hear me say to master a skill, it takes 10,000 hours. I've mastered the gym. I've almost mastered YouTube. But the reason I mastered the gym is I spent 10,000 hours in the gym. I can tomorrow turn into a fat fuck and in 3 months I'll get ripped again. Why? Because I hit my 10,000 hours with the gym. So once we factor in the 10,000 hour rule, this is how many hours at least, Bryce, you need to be equating a day to the vehicle that you think you can get you to this 5K a month for you to retire with this number, right? Tavain, how old are you?
22.
22. And what did you say, 25?
25.
Okay, what's the number for you? A month?
So it's 15 there.
15K a month?
No. I mean, the age you want to retire is 15.
Oh, shit. What did you say, 25?
Yeah.
Okay. And what's freedom to you once you retire, month to month?
I'd say 10K.
10K? Okay. Same thing, right? But you got less time, right? So this is your number, brother. This is how much you would have to put up monthly to retire at 25. This is how many hours a day you would have to spend on your purpose to retire at 25, right? Now, I want you guys to remember all of this, right? I'm just going to go in order to fly through. Corey, how old are you? 28, right?
28.
When you went and you said what age?
I said 35.
35. Okay. What's the number for you? Month to month.
Are you able to put, you know where you have 3 million at that number, your freedom number?
Yep.
Could you put 10 million?
I want to say 10 million would probably be like 15,000 a month. No, my math is off. So it would be like 30. No, damn, my math is off. You suck, Cry. It would be
What, 33?
maybe like 33 or 35. So that's what you said. You said 10 million, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be about 34, right? So 3,400 a month, 34,000 a month. This is your freedom number. You got 7 years to get there. That would mean you have to put 90K a month. That would mean you need to be spending at least 44 hours a day on your purpose, at least. But for you to get to this number in 7 years, right?
Yo,
This is what it looked like. Yes, sir, Bryce. I was going to you right when I was done with Corey. Go ahead.
When you say it takes 3.9 hours a day on your purpose or whatever, what does that mean?
So there's a rule that we live by called the 10,000 hour rule, right? And what that basically means is that it takes 10,000 hours to perfect your craft. If you think about the most exceptional individuals from a financial acumen standpoint, they either have perfected their craft or solved the problem or both. LeBron James has perfected his craft. Drake has perfected his craft. He's the best rapper. That's the best basketball player. Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos have solved really, really complex problems, right? Me, I'm kind of doing both. I got to perfect my craft with the content and I got to solve complex problems for you guys. So with either one, you have to put in at least 10,000 hours to see the fruits of that, right? So like I hit my 10,000 hours with the gym. I've mastered it. You have too. You're jacked. But with content, I want to say, fellas, I'm not even at like 3,000 hours when you factor in like script and recording and editing. Not even at 3. Bryce, you're damn near below 100. It's your first week. So that's what that means. Does that answer your question?
So like, you have to hit 10,000 hours and then you'll make that amount monthly? Is that what
That's probably worst case scenario. You'll probably hit this, you won't make this amount monthly, but you will hit this number probably faster than 10,000 hours, right? But if you want to hit 10,000 hours in 7 years, this is how many hours you would have to do a day. Okay. But the 10,000 hour rule also compounds, right? A very easy way to think about this, fellas, is, I spoke about this in the group call, but basically Drake still has the same voice and says this, like his lyrics, his skill set got better, but he's still Drake. But why does he make about an Emma show now versus 100 a show when he first started? Because of the compound effect, right? So like he don't have to put in as much hours, but he'll make more, right? But that's all about your 0 to 32. So maybe for 3 of these years, you got to put in 4 hours, but then you break through and you start ripping and you start hitting 50 and 100K months. So now this can go down if you wanted to. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. Bye, 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 bye. Dougie Doug, you said, Doug, you 20, right?
I'm 21 now. Yes, sir.
Okay. You said you want it now, right?
I need it now.
Okay. Okay. What's your monthly number? I'm just going to put 22 for the sake of the example. What's your monthly number?
That I need to make to retire, you said?
That like, not that you need to make it till you retire, but that when you're retired, you can live comfortably off of.
Business wise, 300K month. Facts.
300K. Okay.
Yeah, me personally, like just living wise, to feel comfortable, I say like 30, 40K month.
Okay, that's what I'm asking you. That's what I'm asking you. Okay, 40. 1, 2, 3. This is your, whoa. Okay. Damn, why is it tripping on me? This is your freedom number, 12 million, brother.
12 M's?
12 M's. So you got 1 year to make 12 M's. So that means in order for you to retire this year, you would need almost $1 million a month to put up. And that means literally every hour of the day, you would have to say fuck sleep and be dedicated to your purpose to hit this number.
Yeah.
Right?
Why are we doing that? Shit.
It's a lot of work, right? Drew!
Yeah.
Talk to me, doggy. Drew, you 22?
23.
23, and you said 30, right?
Yes, sir.
What's that monthly number for you once you're retired that like you can live comfortably?
20,000.
20K? 6 million is your freedom number, brother, right? So in 7 years, basically, obviously, fellas, take this with a grain of salt because this can compound, but you have to put up basically 50 bands a month for 7 years to hit this number, right? If we factor in the 10,000 hour rule every day for 7 years, and you're doing this already, 4 hours a day towards your purpose, right? Cherokee, what you say? You said this year too, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How old are you, Cherokee?
28.
28. Okay. So let's just say, for the sake of the calculator, 29. What's that monthly number for you that like you can live freely once you're retired?
How much you say 1% man was? 30 or 40?
48,000.
48,000.
So about 50K? Okay. This is your freedom number, brother. 15 million. So if you got a year to hit 15 million, that means you need to be putting $1 million a month in the bank to get you to that 15 in a year. Right? So that means you have to work the whole fucking day, brother. Caleb, how old are you?
23.
23. And you said 35, right? Okay. Yes. And what's that number when you're 35 that you can live comfortably until you die, month to month?
100K.
100K. This is your freedom number, brother. 30 million. Now, Caleb, you gave yourself some time. So in 12 years, however that averages out on average, you got to be putting 100K up, right? Bare minimum, you should be spending bare minimum on your purpose. But this is your number. If you want to retire at 35, you need 30 M's, brother. And from 35 to 76, based on the average life expectancy, you will never have to work again in your life unless you want to, right? Kevin, can you hear me? Or you still ain't got no mic? We come back to you, Kev. Okay, 32, 40, $1 million a month. Okay, say no more. 32, Kev, 40, you want to retire, and you said $1 million a month. Holy shit. 300 mil, doggy. That's your number. That's your freedom number, right? So that means in 8 years, this is what you got to be putting up a month, and you should be spending this much at least to get to your 10,000 hours within 8 years, right? Tyrone, doggy, you said 41. And you said ASAP.
This was humbling. Now put me 41 and 51.
51? 51. Okay. And then what's the monthly?
I need 100,000. Just in case I mess up one month, I could bounce back the next month.
Love that. Okay. You got 10 years, doggy, but this is your freedom number.
Hold on, scroll down. Let me screenshot.
Okay, you got it?
I'm really on this. All right, yeah, I want to shoot for this. All right, man, I got it.
My guy, so you got 10 years to hit 30 M's, right? That means you got to put damn near 150K a month up. And you should be spending at least 2 hours a day on your purpose to hit your 10,000 hours within 10 years, max, right? I'll go last, doggy. Or did I go through everybody? Let me make sure. Did I miss anybody? I don't think I did.
You missed me.
Oh, shit, Ryan. I don't know why you're not showing up on my right. Ryan, how old are you?
24.
24. What was your age you want to retire?
Say about 36.
36. What's that monthly number once you're 36 that you'll be good until you pass away?
I was like 15K.
15K? Okay. This is your freedom number, brother. 4.5 M's, right? So for you to hit that in 12 years, you need to be putting 18 bands up a month. And to get to that 10,000 hours, 12 years max, you need to be putting in at least 2.3 hours, right? Me, I'm 28. I want to be done by 30. I think that 100K a month, let me stop being a dweeb. $1 million a month. This is my freedom number. I got 2 years to do it. This is how much I need to be putting in monthly. This is how many hours a day I need to be putting in my purpose, right? Now, Tyrone said something that I love. He said, this is very humbling. That was, it's part of it was to be humbling, but really, fellas, I wanted to do this with you guys to let you know how much work you really got to put in to hit that number and to also be aware of this. Like, what the fuck are we working towards, crowd? Once I get the car that I want, once I retire my mom, once I got a Lamborghini Urus, once I got the chick that I want, then what? Then it's about the freedom. Then it's about what number can I put up so I can enjoy my life with my future kids or my current kids. That's what it's about. And all you guys just gave me that number. I want to show you what that really looks like, right? And we can all agree inputs are directly correlated with outputs. So the closing cue I want to ask you guys, right? If I had a fucking, let me look at the question before I fuck it up. Give me a second. So the question I want to ask yourself, is the effort to get to this number reflect what you think it does this year? I'll go y'all can just raise your hand and answer. I won't even go one by one. Or if y'all don't answer, I'll just call on you. The effort you've been giving this year, does it reflect what you think it takes to get to that number? I'll go first. No. Is anybody in here that think they effort match that? If so, cool. Keep it going. But me personally, what was my number? 300 M's? No.
No, not at all. Me either. Yeah.
I would say hell no. I would say that's the consensus. Even if we've had even if you're graduated and you've been locked in, even if you're like Cherokee, you got a 98% probability completion rate. You once you see that number, you like, holy fuck, I could be doing a lot more. I could be extremely dialed in, right? After this call, you're going to be extremely motivated, fellas. But I would watch this call back, skip to your part, write that number down, and constantly remind yourself of it. A lot of men think they need more information. In reality, you just need to be reminded of the information you already know. For me, my consistent reminders is just, the days I got left to retire my mom, the Lamborghini Urus, shit in my room, the posters. But I might get a poster of this number, bro. So I'm constantly reminded about what it takes to really have that financial freedom and that wealth, because that's what we're working towards, brother. I preach all this hard work shit as a sprint. I don't want you to have 10 kids following a power list, fellas. At that point, I want you to be able to be what we call a 1% dweeb. You can relax at that point, fellas. But everything now is a sprint, right? Any questions directly related to this or not related to this? I know you got one, Doug.
Go.
Go ahead, Corey P.
You always say purpose. What does that mean exactly? Does that mean like a job that you want or something that you're trying to build? What do you mean exactly by purpose?
So before I answer this is just obviously Webster has a definition. I'm just going to tell you what Cry thinks, right? So purpose to me is why God put you on earth. What is your reason for being on earth? And two, it's really what you love to do that doesn't feel like work, that directly or indirectly correlates with your skill set that you can sustain the most pain in, that can set you up for the rest of your life. So those are like my two definitions. One, like God's reason for putting you on the earth, and two, what vehicle is that, right? So you hear me speak about the LSS method, right? The L stands for love. What do you love to do? That if money wasn't a thing, you would still do it, right? That's the first one. S is sustain. How much pain can you sustain with that thing, right? So let's think of it like a car. Are you still going to drive that car proudly even when your wheel shit is cracked, even when the tire is flat, even when you need an oil change, even when your stereo won't work and shorty in the car? You're still going to drive it proudly like it's a fucking Ferrari. That's sustain. This isn't about cars, it's about your vehicle. For you, Cry, can you handle people talking shit in the comments? Can you handle when a video don't do well, right? Can you handle when you didn't close a qualification call? Can you handle when your family talks shit about you or you lose friends on the journey? Can you sustain that pain? The last S is skill set. Does a vehicle directly or indirectly correlate with your current skill set? Because that's the way to speed it up. We speak about speed. Does a vehicle already match with something you're really good at? For me, it did, right? Cry did music, so Cry's not afraid to be on camera. Cry was in recruitment for 5 years, so he was doing 8 interviews a day. What is he doing now? Calls. So I'm able to interact with people. So I already had prior skill set that directly correlated with this. Something that I don't do that I probably could do is public speaking. That correlates with my skill set, but I just don't do it. So you need to figure out those 3 things. And then with that vehicle, you need to go all in with getting your 10,000 hours, finding a mentor within that vehicle, dedicating all effort and energy for however many years it takes to get to that number. Because statistically, based on previous B calls that we had, Corey, you won't get to that number with a job unless you're like an investment banker, a surgeon, or a celebrity or something like that. And none of us are that. Does that answer your question though?
Mm-hmm.
My God. All right, Dougie Doug, what you got for me?
All right, one second. Let me look at it because I wrote it down prior. Okay, all right. So it's about bulking and cutting, right?
Okay.
So real quick. So I'm trying to bulk, like bulk. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They're doing that. What was the question? Because I know you bulk. Damn, what was the question? I'm an idiot for not writing it down. I just said bulk and cut. Okay, so. Wow, I'm an idiot. Holy hell. Okay. Just shit. One question though. So when you get abs, right? Because I've been cooking in the lab.
Yep.
When you get abs and you go on a cut, the big thing is just keeping your protein like on point, right?
It's a bunch of big things, but that is one of the big things. Yes.
Because once you bulk, you get to a certain size, and then you decide to cut, and then that's when things usually align, right? Right.
What are your objectives? I can't just give you a one-size-fits-all answer.
I'm trying to get like Terry Crews type though, like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, doggy, I know you graduated, but send me a picture of your physique, send me your current weight, and I'll get you together with your macronutrients.
All right. Say no more.
My guy. All right, say no more. Any other cues, fellas? Talk to me, Tavane.
So, on my wall, I got some business idea. My next thing that I think I'm going into is vending machines. What do you guys think about that?
I think it's a good supplemental income, but sometimes you have to sacrifice money for the greater good. What do I mean by that? So what are you doing with the YouTube right now?
I'm still uploading. I'm still like building my personal brand. I don't think, say, if I'm gonna do coaching, I don't think I'm at the level mentally to be a coach.
Okay. So so you do eventually want to be a coach, or do you just want to get paid off your personal brand deals, digital products, stuff like that?
I want to say I'm open to the coaching, but right now it's like paid off a personal brand.
Okay. So if we give me 1 second. Okay. Let me share my screen. What do the 1% earners within a personal brand make? Right? If we look that up, just give me a fucking number, Claude. Just give me a number based on your research, brother. Holy shit. Okay, so that number is it's wanting me to go so in depth. Okay, 25K a month, right? Let's say that's the number, right? Of just you building your personal brand. That's like the 1% earners make, right? My thing with like you trying to do the vending machine business, you're already going to the gym, you already have a regular 9 to 5, and you're already trying to build the personal brand. Something has to give, right? So the thing that I see, and I see this so much in the black community, we try to do too much at once. So if the barrier for success is 7 points, right? And we got 21 points physically and cognitively every single day, because we're all human. We're going to burn out eventually. We got 20 points, right? And you giving 5 to the gym, 5 to the your job, 5 to the vending machines, 5 to the YouTube. They all moved up, but you didn't hit 7 points because they all moved up 5. But if you delete one of them, right, now you can give one of those other 2 extra points, extra physical and cognitive energy to get to that success threshold faster, right? Imagine if right now I was trying to do my music career. Y'all be like, bro, this nigga tripping, give me a refund, right? So for you to be the best man that you could be and get to that 25K with one vehicle, I don't recommend you do that. In the short term, you will make more money with those vending machines, right? But I had a guy named Badre, right? Badre was making $100K a year, but he was working 16 hours a day and hated his job, right? And I kept telling him, and it wasn't his purpose. His purpose was some other shit I don't remember. I'm like, Badre, if 2 years go by, right, you're going to make $200K with that job. But if you get a job for $50K, right, that first year you might be at $50K, but your purpose can take off and equate you more than $200K, right? But you will never do that unless you quit the job. I kept telling them that, right? But the thesis of what I was saying is that you're capped at $200K unless you quit the job and you can work on your purpose. In the present, you're going to be making $50K, but now you're not working 16 hours. Now you can equate that time to your purpose, right? Time, like you can get the money back. You can't get the time back, right? So like, I think it's a good side hustle, but I don't think it's the best long term. I think it's the best short term. I know I gave you a long-winded answer, but I just wanted to give you everything that was in my head.
All right, no, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. Now I'm saying don't do it, doggy, do it, but something's going to have to give, you know, whether it's the gym, your job, or the YouTube. And is that a sacrifice you're willing to make? Any other questions? No cues. Dog. All right, say no more, fellas. If y'all got no questions, man, I'm going to put this in the chat, man. If y'all got any group topic ideas, again, these are for y'all. Put them in the comment section, man. I'll cover it. Super excited. I want to say tomorrow I got a call. Talk to me, doggy.
So you can put a video on this, like old, because I just figured this out. So I was like, yo, does he have a video on this? So one is actually like semen retention, hold your seed. Like, I know you talk about it a lot, but yo, like, I'm just like constantly, because usually I already had like a chick or something, like, so every time I cut them out, it's like, holy shit, like I'm coming like God in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you could talk about that in a group call or some shit.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm not too educated on it, bro. If I'm being completely honest with you, and I'll be honest. Anytime I don't know something, I'll tell y'all, and I'm only gonna speak about something that I'm really confident speaking in. I'm not too confident speaking on that. I do understand both sides though. Like I understand the pros of it, but I think a lot, and I'm not. This is not you, but I think a lot of men cope with semen retention because they can't get chicks. So they'll be like, oh, I'm on semen retention, but in reality, you just can't get hoes, bro. If your dream girl was right there butt naked, you would screw her. You're not on semen retention, dog. You just a dweeb. You need to work on your life, right? So I understand both sides of it. So it's kind of like, I don't really want to speak on that, bro. And it's like...
You said that in the video too?
Yeah, bro, like, that's how you know I believe it. You feel me? So it's like, I don't know, bro. Like, I think it's less about semen retention and more about just allowing women to be a distraction, which I do talk about a lot. You know,
So you're saying they're involuntary celibate?
Yes. That's what I'm saying. And I'm saying it's all men, but I see like the most dweebiest dweebs talking about it, and I be like, brother, you just don't got no juice, nigga. You do good. You just can't get no booty, dog. You know? But I think if you're a guy that's like Cherokee, bro. Cherokee is in that position. Like he done had a lot of reps with chicks and now he like super locked in. I'm not sure. I want to say he's on semen retention. It makes sense. But if you're like, and this doesn't say you're a dweeb, but if you just haven't had that much experience with women, I disagree. So I don't like to talk on it, bro, because I could be wrong with my assumptions. Yeah. But that's my thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions, fellas? No questions? All right, I love y'all boys, man. This is my favorite time of the week, man. We back next Wednesday unless something crazy happen. But again, if y'all got any topics, put them in the comment section. I'm about to post this in the community. But if you need me, hit me. All right, fellas. Love y'all. Peace. All right, fellas. That wraps up the end of the ultimate guide to be a 1% man in 2027, man. I really hope this was valuable. And not only that, I hope that you implement all of these principles, ideologies, and new information, because knowledge isn't shit without action. If I got two motherfuckers, one that know how to chop down a tree and one that don't, I'm gonna roll with the motherfucker that don't, but at least try. It's about action. But once you got information and action, it's like having a right and a left leg. That's how you gonna move the fastest, right? And if you wanna work one-on-one with me in the trenches, right, and get the systems that you saw, get the accountability that you saw, get access to the community that you saw, right? And speed up the process even more. And imagine having your two legs, but having fucking skates on, brother, to hit your objectives and be the minutes you have to be. I'll put the link in the description in the comment section. Book a call and we'll see if you're a good fit. But I love y'all boys. Peace.